Hello, it is I, Silent and K. I haven't been around for a while, and that's partly because I had to help my father, and my mother. My father was getting a shoulder surgery, and during his recovery time, we recently learned he has prostate cancer again, and it grew back. And I've a lot of nasty things happened since I've made my last video, and I've been just trying to keep my family together. Um, so let's talk about Armored Core. I have like a few videos I haven't posted, and then I did some things without even recording at all because I just wanted to play and not bother with my episodic thing. This is, you know, I love Armored Core, but somehow I feel like I lost some of the passion for it. And I don't think it's because of Armored Core or recording or YouTube, but life. You know, I was really in a dark place for a job search because everywhere I was getting was a lot of a lot of rejections. And I recently got something. I'm not sure whether or not it'll happen, but I'll know in January. And I have hope for that. I really do. But I'm trying to look forward to the future. Uh, Armor Core wise, I've been playing the game, and let's see, I got through the cleaner boss at Rad. That was actually a really fun boss. I've at least died to that thing 7 times before I figured out how to defeat it. And I basically had to take my Armor Core 5 approach, which is make a heavy flying bipedal AC with both a plasma gun and a heavy machine gun, and like just missiles. You don't let up anything you do. You just keep shooting the shit out of it. And I did some free play where I found if you just have like all energy weapons, all energy rifles, and you just spam the hell out of that too. And I gotta say that cleaner boss, a lot of fun to kill, a lot of fun. It's a good boss to really make you think. Okay, this AC is obsolete. I need to go back to the drawing board and really think. You know, loved that boss. The sea serpent one, the flying spider thing, developed by an institution. I got to fight that, and I thought that thing was very underwhelming. Um, it was really easy. I killed it on my second try, and I was like, oh, okay. And I think that's because I mainly dropped my heavy cannon on the back for like another missile launcher, and I just kept on missile barrage with machine gun and plasma cannon. I just got through it. It was like, oh, okay, that was that. And then, I turn off the game and I go down and look for my Steam page and I'm like, oh my god, what's this? We've been apparently nominated for Best Action Game in the Game Awards. Holy shit! I joked about it getting Game of the Year, in a previous video and saying how impossible it was, but like if it got recognition, I'd be happy with that. Got recognition also on Steam, and I feel like the Steam one is more poetic because best game you suck at. I I've always said Armored Core is a game that will teach you that you suck at Armored Core. Armored Core is a you suck philosophy. I know most people are gonna be like, "What do you mean you suck?" Well, you've a lot of people played it, and it's a Steam award now, and it's very accurate. Okay, even on the PS2, the PS1, you could get your ass kicked flat. And that's partly because when you lose in a mission in Armored Core, you'll pile up debt, and then that corporation says, no, you don't get to die. We repo your body, and now you're our slave. Or Or, here's the thing, you don't have debt, you die in a very pivotal mission, and your license gets revoked, you lose all your personhood and any rights you have as a citizen, and then they blow you up because, you know, it's the AI that runs the whole Raven system because, it's your boss. I just love that it got a reward. I feel like the Steam Award's more poetic. I feel like that is just perfect because all the Armored Cores, you can say easily, it's a game that'll make you know that you suck at video games because it brings a certain level of skill, and much like Dark Souls, it also brings a certain level of skill. But are the skills transferable? No, because this is a giant robot, not a European fighting guy with a sword. Not saying that's not fun though. I mean, everyone likes to dodge roll now and then. Who doesn't like to dodge roll? But in Armor Core, you gotta love to quick boost and do those side boosts, man. Oh god, those quick boosts. And those over boost, man, or the assault boost. I'm still getting used to the whole assault boost. I mean, you spend a good chunk of your life with the over boost. After like 2000, this is like, oh my god, the Armor Core is now Speed Core! And it just gets faster and faster and faster and faster. And then we got slower in 5 because, I don't know, in 5 it was like, we need more armor now because we're now more paper mache. Which is how I kind of felt in 4. I felt like no matter how much armor I put in 4, I was always getting filled with large holes, like I was nothing more than a paper mache doll getting stabbed with like pencils. Ugh. But it's Armor Core, it's always fun. It brings a new zest. I am surprised that it did get recognized for Game Awards. I yeah, wasn't expecting that. It's nice to see all these things. I actually read some comments for the Steam Awards, and I still think that this is pretty accurate to like all the other times an Armor Core's made. The mid comment, that's pretty common. I mean, the Gundam ripoff is an age-old thing. Everyone thinks Armor Core since the inception was a Gundam ripoff, but the PS1 Armor Core was way better than the PS1 Gundam games. The PS1 Gundam games were just fighting games. Armor Core is like an actual 3D mecha, that you could pilot. And when the Gundam games had 3D versions, they were essentially just open battlefield fighter games. They really don't get to customize. They have no in between, with a Gundam game. Gundams are either really fast or really fucking slow. And Armor Core is everything on the spectrum. And guess what? You can customize it and change its form. Its form is fluid. Oh yes, and you don't need an angsty teenage boy. You don't need a depressed terrorist. There's a lot of archetypes. A suicidal little girl, a guy who lobotomizes himself. Gundam is dark, okay? Armor Core is just, this is the world we live in. We have to do this to get by day by day or else we die. Alright? Because no food on the table equals death. That's Armor Core, okay? This one, a little darker because, we're partially lobotomized and stuff, but, like, it's fun. And it has a heartwarming story. This one has probably the best story out of all the Armor Cores because, again, From Software, they took their initiative from Dark Souls, and I'm so happy. I don't know. I had a lot of dark moments. I just went straight in, and the Armor Core is like my escape. Didn't matter if I sucked or I died 1,000 times. I always felt like I could create something new, go out and try and win that mission, get that hidden part. And I look at Armor Core a lot differently than most people. Because I am an Armor Core fan. That's the obvious answer. But I've always loved giant robots ever since I was little. And who wouldn't? But there's only so much to look at in the world. Ah. God, this is awesome. To me, Mecha is imagination at its peak, you know? Taking a bunch of machine parts that look cool, making a larger, cooler machine. Here we have the watch point. Oh, God. This Carlos factory where we call it the Tourist. Oh, I love it. And there's a vertical launch catapult that sends us to the ice fields. You also fight the sea spider thing. Wild. You know, I was happy that a lot of people played Armored Core 6, you know. For everyone would say that they gave up right away at the beginning of it. I understand, okay? You didn't expect to get your ass whooped by a boss. Well, you had the traditional Armored Core experience. Congratulations. You know, it's you've been initiated into the You Suck game franchise. How you take it afterwards, your prerogative, you know? You want to give up, you give up. You want to keep going, you keep going. You get better. Eventually, you kick its ass. You'll start appreciating it. Then you'll get the skills to play all the other Armored Cores and actually be good at Armored Core. I know, that sounds like an insult. Sort of is, sort of isn't. You know, I don't think anyone who quits an Armored Core shouldn't talk shit about it. I get it, you're salty if you quit, but you sort of gave up before you really got to enjoy it. You know, it's like if you watch Andor, okay, and you give up after episode 2. And I haven't told my best friend I did this recently, but I have actually been watching Andor, and wow, it gets so much better after episode 2. And you know, much like Andor, I know, TV series, comparing it to Armored Core with giant robot fights. How the fuck do you do that? You can't really, but hear me out. If you give up too early, you miss out on all the fun. And that's my advice with Armored Core. Don't give up. Give it a chance. Get through it. You might enjoy it. Oh, this guy, the tower boss, the wall boss. Really fun to kill. Real easy. I don't know why anyone struggled with this guy. He was a joke. But again, neat boss. Definitely did a lot of ramming impact damage. Also a joke. Oh yeah, I got to kill 2 of these guys. You were different shape than that, but yeah, those guys were interesting. God. Yeah. The PCA dudes, yes. The PCA, was there like actual soldiers that aren't the robots? The fucking Balteus. God. The PCA was so much bad. Let me talk about Balteus for a minute, alright? Everything that everyone fucking hates. I didn't get to post a video where I beat him. I spent essentially. I actually compiled it. I spent like at least 7 hours of my life to defeat this guy, and I did. Before the patch, I think it was like a couple days later, the patch happened, the first patch for the Armored Core 6, and I was like, wait, I could have waited for the patch? And I was like, but I beat it before the patch. Did it need to be patched? And then I started fighting it after the patch, and I was like, oh. Yeah, they made it easier so you can actually use other weapons to kill it. And then they buffed my favorite gun, the charge rifle, and I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't crazy before. It's like, why the fuck would you make the charge rifle weak? It's a charge rifle. But they did. I gotta say, Balteus is probably one of the best bosses that From Software ever created and put at the wrong point in the game. And hear me out. This is like a combination of, I would say, the IBMSI from Armored Core 3 Silent Line, uh, Project Phantasma. It's got an ultimate weapon from Armored Core 5, a fucking huge minigun. It looks like the same type of weaponry that, I don't know, the final boss, the first Ayla unit in Armored Core 4 that you have to fight, that's piloted by Joshua O'Brien. It's got also a big ass bazooka. And it's styled in the way of, oh god, who was the guy in Phantasma's name? He piloted that crazy white AC with a giant ass blade thing that looked like a shield. God, my head. It's like a combination of multiple Armored Core designs, and then taking every extreme boss fight, rammed into one to make the ultimate boss, and they put it right at the end of Chapter 1. They made an endgame boss at the beginning of the game, after you fight the fucking chopper. And it really pissed me off, because every other boss after this guy that I've faced so far, okay, I've like, I defeated the two twin guys, and I was like, oh, okay, they weren't so bad. Maybe I'll fight the worm next. Who knows? Maybe that'll actually be more of a challenge. I don't fucking know. Um, all I can say is that, I got to the ice field. I blew up a watch point, fought two dudes after destroying a generator plant, and I felt like the bosses I faced till then were not as hard as Balteus. All right, even after he's been nerfed, he's still a little difficult. If you don't have a good generator and booster setup, you're in a world of hurt still. But I also feel like they made Balteus a little too weak, because he doesn't pull out the flaming sword, that's this giant thing right in the middle here, a lot anymore. And I felt like that was more of a threat. It's sort of an area denial thing. And if you have a good rush build, you can like annihilate him before he even whips it out. I don't hate that. But I still think that Balteus is like I said, is the actual endgame boss that should have made the endgame boss. Because they made it like an endgame boss. But they put it at the fucking beginning of the game. And the irony is there's been a couple of patches since I've beaten Balteus. And he is easier. His missiles are slower. And I can actually avoid them now. Like before, you couldn't avoid any freaking missile. All missiles always hit their target. Now it's like, oh wait, I can actually sidestep, and there's a little delay after Balteus fires, and his missiles sort of like hover, and like you can sort of boost past it and like get in before they like lock on and actually go towards you. It's crazy, but like you can actually like do that now. You know, I have many feelings about that thing. Uh, And then we had these scrap MTs, really cool design. I love the lore that Cinder Carla pulled out with her junk wizards putting them together. And I was like, oh my god, she's grandstanding the fact that her junk people actually made quality machinery out of the crap they found lying around. I mean, how good of a recycler do you have to be to make actual trash into a deadly killing machine that's like really effective? Like these things, it's like little charge salts. It's crazy. Oh god, I loved this boss. It was a fun fight. I only died, I think, at least 7 or 8 times. But like after that, I was like, I had dialed it down. I was like, Armored Core 5 strat. All the guns and missiles. Like you're either going with like 4 sets of guns, or you're going with like 2 big guns and a lot of missiles. But you can't be vertical. They have to be forward facing. Yeah. I had a lot of fun. Oh, that is the end of the art book. Wow. God all mine. Yeah, I think I'm done. I think I'm done with the art book. Done with the talking. Now let's talk about why I don't think Armored Core 6 is going to get Best Action Game. If you go into the Best Action Game award link and you click on it, and of course we're going to do this, we're going to see at least a title I think that will beat Armored Core 6 in Best Action Game. Haven't played Dead Island 2, haven't seen much on it. I've seen a lot of mixed opinions on Ghost Runner 2, so that's out of the way. And Remnant 2, I've heard some good things. But the game that was shadow dropped, Hi-Fi Rush, I think that is most likely going to get it. For the fact that it was Hi-Fi Rush and everyone fucking loved it. It gave people Jet Set Radio vibes, and like after No Straight Roads, man, I mean this game, at least from what I've seen, is way better than No Straight Roads. And it took like the whole internet by storm for like a good, I think like 2 or 3 months, and people still like look at it. I mean, my YouTube recommendation every once in a while pulls it up too, random things, and then there's Twitter. I mean, I don't know who uses it still, but people still do. And when I dare to open it, I see random stuff. But every once in a while, there's a Hi-Fi Rush meme, and I'm like, huh. I don't know. Maybe it's people I'm within Twitter. I don't know. I don't do it all the time, but yeah. I would like to see Armored Core 6 get this one award because it would just be like a bragging moment. That's like wishful thinking. Realist me is like, either Dead Island 2 is getting it, Hi-Fi Rush most likely, or Remnant 2 probably. I mean, why Dead Island? Because that is a sequel, and I think the first one was better. I don't know. A lot of people always say the first game is better. It's very rare when a sequel is better than the original. I've heard good things about Remnant 2. I don't know. At least 3 of these games might not allow Armored Core 6 to get this thing. Just for the fact that I got as a nominee, I think is a great thing to celebrate. Like, we were a nominee in the year 2023. Huzzah! But Steam Awards, man. Fucking poetic Steam Awards. I love you guys. You couldn't have said it better than me. Alright? You suck at game franchise. Armored Core, okay? It's a franchise that will teach you that you suck. Okay? Immortal words. And I have said this, at least in my nervous ramblings, since I started making videos. I mean, things are wild, man. God. Now, I'll be trying to make some more videos, because, we're dealing with my old man's cancer, and things are looking pretty okay there on that front. But, I make no promises. I do this only for, I don't know. I don't know if it's a hobby to me anymore. I've grown attached to it, but yeah, it's something for me to think about. But I appreciate the support I have from my subscribers and the people who view my work. I know I'm not the greatest guy out there. I'm well aware of that. But I appreciate any time you guys can give me. Thank you for watching. This is Silent NK. Signing off. Have a good one.